Hello everyone, this is Daniel with fitnessblender.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the newest workout videos as soon as they come out. Today we're going to be doing a HIIT and core combination workout video. We've got two sets of each. We're going to be going through one group of HIIT, then a group of core, another group of HIIT, and another group of core, and then we've got our cool down. So we've got warm-up and cool down for this routine, so you don't need to do those on your own. We'll be doing it through the routine, and you don't need any equipment for this whatsoever. It's all body weight driven. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with that warm-up. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started with that warm-up. Doing each one of these for 30 seconds apiece, starting off with a side step with an overhead reach, going laterally. So take a nice deep breath in, start slow, speed up as you need to. So you're just gonna step to the side, reach over your head, then same thing to the other side. If you're starting cold, you've been sitting down for a long time, that kind of a thing, then really take your time with this. If you've been up moving around, doing lots of walking or that type of thing, then you can probably move through this and move into it a little bit faster. But just take your time if you need to. Just reaching back and forth, trying to get that torso to stretch out. We're going to be doing a high knee with a torso twist next. So knee comes up, rotate towards that knee. So if left knee comes up, you're rotating to the left. If right knee comes up, you're rotating to the right. Just nice and slow, back and forth. Again, start slow, start speeding up and trying to push into more range of motion as you go along. So that knee, we want to get that knee up as high as you can, rotating across as far as you can, using just muscle strength. You're not pulling on your legs, you're not pulling against anything, get that extra rotation. All right, toe touch sweeps are next. Down to one foot, across, back, kind of lean a little bit, and then back down, sweep across, and stretch it. Just kind of follow that leg down as you go down towards that toe, then sweep across the floor to the other foot, and then come up, rotating those shoulders slightly, and getting a little bit of a backward lean. I'll be doing a warrior pulse on each side for the next two. Feet out really nice and wide. Bend one leg out to the side, hands up, just pulse down as low as is comfortable. Go almost to a full extension, almost lock that knee out, and then go right back down and go again as low as is comfortable. Again, if you're pretty tight, if you're cold, you might want to limit that range of motion a little bit. But keep pushing a little tiny bit further each one. So you stand on the same side through the whole thing. Do the same thing on the other side. So lock this knee out, bend this knee, drop off to the other side. Again, come up, don't completely lock that leg out, right back out again. Again, limit that range of motion for whatever's comfortable for you. Trying to push that range of motion just a little bit, trying to get a little bit further as long as it's still comfortable, you're not experiencing any pain or anything like that. Just keep those lungs open. We're doing a flat back deadlift next. So straight leg deadlift, feet just about shoulder width apart, back nice and flat, keep those legs straight, tip as far forward as you can, and right back up again. Keeping that back kind of arched up a little bit. You're going to feel this, that hamstring, glutes, maybe even that lower back. Just go as low as you can without letting that back round. Next one is going to be an alternating lunge. Going to step out, those hands come over your head, reach back as far as is comfortable, back up, other foot comes out, reach back again. So this one, you're going to be kind of stretching all the way through the front of that body. Whoop. Take your time with it, step out as far as is comfortable. The further you step, the harder it's going to be. Remember, this is just a warm-up, so you don't have to really challenge yourself on this. Just warming it up. All right, go into a boxer shuffle. Get up on the ball of that foot. Try to warm up those calves, those ankles. Just a nice big deep breath in. You should probably be feeling yourself trying to breathe a little bit heavier, but not a ton. You should feel yourself starting to warm up slightly. All right, we're doing up and outs next. For the easier version, you're just going to stand stationary, One foot comes up and back over. Same thing on the other side. If you want slightly more difficult version, you're gonna be staying in that kind of boxer shuffle movement and popping those feet back and forth really nice and quick. The key is to try to keep those hips straight forward, and you're trying to open that hip socket up by pulling that knee out to the side without letting your hips necessarily rotate that same direction. All right, we got jumping jacks next. Nice, fluid, clean motion. Keep those arms pretty much perfectly straight. No bending those elbows. As you get more comfortable with it, start speeding that motion up a little bit more. Keep that shoulder contracted, keep that arm straight. Try not to let that elbow bend too much. And let it relax. All right, our next group is going to be HIIT. So get ready. We'll be back in just a second. All right, everyone, we've got 6 different exercises to go through. We're gonna be doing each one twice. We're gonna be doing them for 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So let me go ahead and get my timer started. Our first one is going to be a lateral jump plus a toe touch. So as you jump down, you're actually gonna reach down towards that foot. So nice big jump, down, touch that foot, off the other side, touch that foot. If you can, try not to let that other one touch the ground. For easier version, you're just going to step, just kind of basically doing a side step, squatting down, touching that toe. But if you can, do it nice and quick. Trying to get as wide as you can with every single one. Whew. Kind of going off the rails here a little bit. All right, we're gonna do that same exact thing, second time through. We'll move to our next exercise. So pick whichever version you want. Nice big wide jump, not letting that foot touch for the harder version, or doing a step, squatting down, kind of a curtsy lunge position for the easier version. Just keep it going. And let it relax. All right, we've got jumping lunges next. Be a nice big quick motion. The harder version, just right into that jumping lunge. Keep them moving nice and quick. Again, for the easier version, it's going to be an alternating lunge, just step out. And same thing over on the other side. But if you can, it's a nice quick pop back and forth. And let it relax. Nice deep breath, shake those legs out. Doing the same thing, second time. And start up. Harder version, nice quick pop back and forth. Easier version, just step out and back. Whichever one you're doing, just make sure you're moving under control. And let it relax. All right, star jump is next. Show the harder version first. Deep breath, get ready. Squat down, arms and legs go out as you jump. It's gonna be the harder version. Just keep going as fast as you can. Easier version is just squat down. Everything comes out standing on one leg. Otherwise, full jump. Let it relax, shake those legs out, deep breath. Try to recover. Doing star jumps again. Start them up. That full version. Nice big explosion at the top. Or slightly easier, low impact. Just coming down into that kind of a single leg squat. And let it relax. We have runners next. There's really no hard or easy version of this. It's just how fast you move, how low you squat. So all your weight on one leg, the other leg is gonna be moving back and forth. Move nice and slow, under control for that easier. For the harder, it's a nice quick, almost plyometric motion. Let it relax, I have the same thing on the same side. Drop it down, Nice quick motion for the harder version. For the easier, you stand up a little bit higher. Don't compress that leg or don't drop down on that leg quite so much. Focus more on that driving of the knee. Otherwise, stay low and drive that knee nice and quick. Let it relax. We'll do the same thing, point in the opposite direction. Or excuse me, with that opposite leg leading. All right, so left leg or right leg down, left leg moving. Remember, slow version, not quite so low for the easier. Nice and low, quick motion for the harder version. Let it relax, we have one more of those. After this one, we just have one more exercise before we switch to core. So get it going. Staying low. Move that leg nice and quick. Or, excuse me, that slow motion for easier. And let it relax. All right, we got pop squats next. So the last one before we get a little break. Feet start together. Hop them out, squat down, tap in the center, and back out. The easier version is just drop out into kind of a side squat and back to the center. Otherwise, you're hopping. Keep those lungs open. And let it relax. Got one more of those. Try to recover as best you can in between. And start up. Kind of a wide squat. And then back to the center. Barely tap and back out. Or that easier version, just step out into that side, kind of squat. And let it relax. All right, give you just a second here. We're gonna move on to that core. So if you're on a pretty hard surface, grab a mat. Otherwise, floor should be just fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the core section. We're doing each one of these 7 different exercises for 50 seconds straight through with only a 10-second break. So you have to move pretty quick from one exercise to the next. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're starting off with just a traditional crunch. So nice and easy. Get flat on your back. Pull the belly button in, hands behind your head. Crunch up towards those knees. You're not going up, straight up. You're actually coming forward, kind of crunching your shoulders down towards your hips. Suck that belly in as you crunch forward. Keep those elbows back out of your field of vision. A little easier version is going to be with those hands right here. Next hardest is with your hands behind your head. Next hardest from there is a full extension. And if you're a real glutton for punishment, feel free to grab a weight for this. Let's crunch it up, nice tight, controlled movements. Same speed on the way up as on the way down. Keep a little bit of a hover, not letting it completely release at the bottom. Just keep those lungs open. We got back bows next. So flip over onto your stomach. Nice and quick. Starting with those hands right in front of that face. Legs down the ground. Arch that back up. Hands by your sides, elbows tucked to your rib cage is going to be the easiest version. You want the next hardest, you're going to bring those hands kind of up to that forehead. The next hardest version from there is a full extension. And then again, if you're a glutton for punishment, grab a dumbbell. Keep that chest hovering just ever so slightly so those back muscles stay contracted. Arching that chest up as high as is comfortable, but still keeping that face looking down the entire time. Just keep that motion going. Nice, slow, controlled movement. Again, try to keep that same pace on the way up as on the way down. Don't drop quickly. You want to keep a nice, slow relax. And let that relax. We're doing Jackknife Crunch next, so back onto your back. Legs out fully extended, hands up over top of your head. Hardest version, press that lower back against your mat. Arms and legs come straight up, touch crunch up towards those toes and then back down. If you're finding that really difficult to do, bend those knees, crunch up from there. Just make sure you're keeping that lower back flat against that mat. If you're feeling a really big gap, just pull those knees in a little bit more, or go ahead and tuck those feet. Otherwise, full extension, crunching up, back out, but no gap underneath that lower back. Keep those lungs open. Don't hold your breath. A lot of times when you're doing really core intensive exercises, you're going to have a tendency to want to hold your breath, but don't do it. Keep those lungs open, let it relax. Keep those lungs open, and it'll make those core muscles have to work a lot harder. You can get a lot more tone and strength out of it. All right, back pull crossover. Sorry, I was talking through that one. So back on your stomach, hands back behind your head. Instead of doing a straight back bow, you're going to kind of come up to the side, try to get that crunch just down one side. Same thing on the other. Again, elbows tucked back to your sides is going to be the easiest version. Hands about forehead level is the next hardest. Full extension is the hardest without using extra weight. A slow, controlled movement. Relax back onto your back. We're going to be doing a double toe taps. So kind of in that same crunch position. You're going to bring those knees up to a tabletop position. Lower back flat against that mat. Drop those feet down. Barely tap the ground if you can. Right back up. If you're feeling that lower back lift up off the ground, then switch to a single leg. Just nice and slow. Down and back up. If you're still feeling that lower back lift up, then go ahead and let both feet touch the ground. Keep those core muscles really tight, belly button sucked in. And then just lift one leg at a time and back down, but concentrating on keeping those core muscles nice and tight. If you can, go to that hardest version, which is both feet, knees pinned together, belly button pulled in, lower back flat against that mat, slowly extending those legs out and back up. Do swimmers next, so back onto your stomach. And flat on your stomach, arms and legs fully extended. Left hand, right foot for the easiest version. It's going to be up and down. Same thing on the other side. Just nice, slow, controlled motion. Tight squeeze at the top. For the harder version, you're going to keep those arms and legs hovering. Just alternating back and forth. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Face still down towards that mat, keeping that chest up off the ground so that back is contracted constantly. Keep those lungs open, no holding your breath. Try to breathe as normally as you can. And let that relax. One exercise left, and that is going to be an X crunch. So laying flat out on your back, arms and legs out. You're going to bring your left hand up to your right foot, crunch and touch. And the same thing on the other side, right hand to left foot. Just back and forth. If you need to, bend that knee to make it a little bit easier. If you want to make it harder, keep everything hovering off the ground. Keep those lungs open. Don't hold your breath. Try to keep that lower back flat against that mat. Just keep it going. And let it relax. All right. I think we deserve a little bit of a break, so go and grab a drink of water. We'll be right back to start into that second group of HIIT. See you in just a second. All right, everybody, I hope you're able to catch your breath a little bit. We're going to be moving into that next section of HIIT. We're doing, again, same thing, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Let's go ahead and get started. All new exercise this time, we're starting off with burpees. I know everybody loves burpees. I'm going to show the harder version first and then the modification. So nice and quick, drop down and back up. Jump if you want to add a little extra oomph to it. Otherwise, it's just down and back up. For the easier version, just go down, step out with one foot, back up. And as you come down, make sure you step out, leading with the opposite foot the second time. Just nice, slow, controlled motions. Otherwise, nice and quick. All right, we have one more round of those. Push to the hardest version you can. Try to recover. Start them up. Try to move them as quick as you can, as long as you're still under control. All right, we're doing a ski to sumo squat jump. So wide jump to narrow jump. All right, ski squat, jump, out, sorry. So alternate each one as you jump in and jump back out. For the easier version, you're going to come up, step in, squat, step out, squat. Make sure you're alternating which foot you use each time. Let that one relax. We're doing that same thing again. Go to the hardest version you can. Squat, jump out, squat, and jump in. Just keep those lungs open. Keep that motion under control. Let it relax. You've got high knees next. Take a deep breath. You're just gonna be driving those knees up as high as you can. Harder version is right here. Quick motion, driving those knees. Try to get them to hip height or higher. The easier version is you're just moving quick, but not staying up on the ball of your foot. You're just crossing those knees back and forth. Focus more on driving that knee up. Otherwise, quick version. And let it relax. Big full deep breaths, try to recover. High knees again. Hardest version you can. Keep that torso up. Don't round over. Relax. We've got an alternating side lunge with a side leg lift, side leg raise. Stay out nice and wide. Lunge off to one side, lift that leg. Lunge off the other side, lift that leg. Just keep alternating back and forth. Those legs are probably starting to feel a little jello-y. Just keep pushing through it. Go and let it relax. Got a little bit of a break. Got one more of those. Feet nice and wide. Control that motion as best you can. For the easier version, basically, you're just gonna come up to the center and lift that leg. If you can't, pop all the way. Let it relax. All right, mountain climbers are next. Gonna drop down. Feet really nice and quick. It's a harder version. Try to tuck those knees up underneath you as much as you can without letting that toe touch. The easier version is gonna be step in, step out. Keep those hips low, no matter which version you're doing. And let it relax. Do that same thing again. Nice full deep breaths. Try to recover as best you can. Start them up. Hardest version you can. If you want to be a little bit easier, like halfway, and let that foot touch in between each time. Otherwise, the real easy version, just keep that plank, moving those feet in and out. The hard version, quick motion, keep those toes up. And let it relax. All right, stand back up. So our last exercise for this HIIT routine, sumo squat plus a high kick. So feet really nice and wide. Squat down, leg comes in across and over. Squat and up and over. Try to keep that leg as straight as you can. If it's a little bit bent, that's perfectly fine. Just try to use that quadricep to straighten that leg out. All right, one more to go. Keep those lungs open. And squat down. Leg comes up and over, squat down. Up and over the other side. All right, let that one relax. We'll be right back in to start into that last round of the core section. See you in just a second. All right, everybody, we have one last section of core work. We're gonna be doing kind of the same thing as we were before. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds to rest and prep to move to the next exercise. We've got a new 7 different exercises to go through. So let's go ahead and get started. This is our last section before we to stretch and cool down. So toe touch crunch is first. Laying flat on your back, legs straight up, crunch up towards those toes. For a little easier version of this, if your hamstrings are really, really tight, or your quads or your stomach is starting to get out on you, just bend those knees down, crunch up from there. Otherwise, full extension. Again, if you want a little harder version, feel free to grab a weight. Start with something small. You only need like 1 or 2 pounds to make a huge difference for these motions. Just keep it going. Keep those lungs open. Crunching up as high as you can, trying to let it relax and rest the bottom. You want to keep a little bit of tension for those abs the entire time. Constantly sucking that belly button in. Let it relax. We're going to be doing a side crunch. So lay completely flat on your side. And lift those legs and reach down towards those toes. Come up, crunch down towards those toes. As you lift those legs up, try to keep that torso perpendicular to the ground. Try not to lean forward and lean back. So reaching down towards those toes and let it relax. Keep a little bit of a hover, a little bit of tension to that torso on the top side is what's going to be doing all the work. So reach down, almost like you're trying to reach to the back of your legs. Should help you kind of keep a little more straight up and down. Where if you reach towards your toes, you're going to kind of roll forward a little bit. So try to reach like you're trying to reach down and touch your heel. Keep those core muscles contracted, belly button pulled in. Even though the majority of this effort is all coming from that torso, from that oblique, you want to keep those abdominal muscles tight too. And let it relax. Do the same thing on the other side. So go to flip. Legs out nice and straight, stacked on top of each other. And crunch down. Lift those legs as you pull that shoulder down towards that hip. Remember, reach kind of back behind you like you're trying to touch those heels to keep that torso a little bit more perpendicular to the ground. Keep those lungs open. Focus on a nice tight squeeze for that oblique. We're going to be feeling it on the top side. Just keep it going. Let that relax. All right, going to a crisscross crunch next. So flat on your back again. One leg out, one knee up, hands behind your head. You're gonna bring that right elbow to your left knee, crunch across, and then same thing over to the other side. Make sure that you don't bring that knee in past that hip joint. So crunch it up. Same thing on the other side. So there's really no easy way of doing this. And the only thing you can really do is let that foot touch each time. So crunch up, let the foot touch as you bring that other one across. And should give you quite a lot less tension on those abdominal muscles. But if you can, keep those legs hovering off the ground. Whew. Lungs open. Try to keep those elbows kind of back behind you. Remember, you're not crunching straight up towards those knees. You're rotating across, trying to bring that elbow to that knee. And let it relax. All right. We have side plank next. So I'm going to bring it back up onto that right side. Stack those feet for the harder version. It's going to come up and just hold it. You can stack those feet, you can stagger them, whichever way you want to. This is really, really tiring. You can't quite hold it. Just go ahead and drop down onto those knees. So you're just going to stack those knees and hold it from there. But if you can, full extension. Try to keep a nice straight line, torso perpendicular to the ground. Try not to roll forward. Want all that effort on that bottom side, on that bottom oblique. Just hold it as long as it's comfortable. 15 seconds left. Keep holding it. Remember, you can drop to an easier version if you need to. Try to hold out as long as you can. You'll have to do one of these per side. Same thing on the other side. Roll it over. Feet stacked for the harder version or staggered on those knees for the easier version. Bring it up. Hold it. Remember, hold this for as long as you possibly can. Try to match what you did on the other side. So kind of mentally keep note of how long you held each position. Or if you need to, remember, you can always drop down to those knees for the easier version. Just hold it there. Almost done. Well, almost. My almost. Under 10 seconds left now. Try to keep those hips up, nice straight line. And let it relax. All right, one exercise left before cool down. We're doing flutter kicks for our last exercise. Hands out nice and wide. One leg up, one leg down. Try to bring those feet back and forth. Try to keep them as straight as you can. I know those quads are probably going to be pretty tired, so it's going to be a little difficult to keep those legs straight, but do the best you can. Whatever you do, don't tuck your hands underneath your butt. That props your hips up and makes those core muscles not have to hardly work at all and puts everything onto those hip flexors so your core isn't even doing anything. So make sure your hands aren't under your butt. If your core starts getting too tired, you can always bend those knees and do a slightly easier version. But if you can, do a full extension on that leg and don't let those feet touch the ground. Lungs open. Don't hold your breath. Lower back flat against that mat. Oh man, I got a good burn in those abs. All right, be right back to start in to that cool down. That's all we've got left. All right, everybody, one section left, and that's our cool down. Let's go ahead and get this going. We'll be doing each one of these for 30 seconds apiece, starting off with just a regular toe touch. Take a nice deep breath in. And drop down towards those toes. Start with a flat back. Stop it right here. Get those legs nice and straight. Should feel it really nice and tight through those hamstrings, maybe a little bit through the back and glutes. Hold it for just a second. Then round those shoulders. Stretch down towards those toes for the rest of it. Again, legs nice and straight. Trying to go down as low as you can, low as is comfortable. Back up straight. You're going to do a quad stretch next. You're going to lift that leg up back behind you to that heel. Standing straight up and tall, straight up and down, nice and tall. Make sure you don't lean forward, don't round that back. You keep that back nice and straight. Heel to your butt. Pull it back as far as is comfortable. You should feel it in front of that thigh. Ooh. Grab a hold of something if you need to for balance. Same thing on the other side. Just go ahead and switch it. Heel to butt. Pull that leg back behind you slightly. Torso straight up and down. If you can, balance. If you're just too tired, grab a hold of the back of a chair or lean up against the wall, but try to use it as little as you possibly can. Even stretching and cooling down can be a little bit of a workout if you do it right. All right, butterfly stretch. Go and sit down. Put those feet together, pull them in nice and close. Use those muscles to the outside of your thigh to pull those legs. Pull those legs straight down towards the ground. My glutes and hip sockets are starting to cramp up on me ever so slightly. Just let it relax. Deep breaths. Torso twist. We're going to kick one leg out. Other leg comes over top. Rotate towards that knee that you have up. Should feel it through that torso. Let's try to go as far as you can, as far as is comfortable. Look back over that shoulder. Just breathe normally. Same thing on the other side. Leg out on the other side, bring the other knee up, rotate the opposite direction. Just go as far as is comfortable. Try to lever everything and all those muscles release as much as you can. And go into a shell stretch next. So on those knees, sit back into those heels, hands out away from you. Hold there for just a few seconds. Stretching those hands away. Pull those hands in next to those knees. Press down into the ground with that palm. Press those shoulders back down towards those hips and round that back up as much as you can. Relax and go into a Cobra stretch. So lay flat out, hands down by the base of your rib cage. Press up as high as is comfortable. If you need to leave those elbows slightly bent, do so. Otherwise, lock them out and look up towards the ceiling. And let that back stretch. You should feel it through the front of that chest as well. A little bit of the chest, a little bit into your abdomen. Maybe even a little bit into the front of that hip. And deep glute stretch is next. So flat on your back. Cross one leg over top, grab behind that thigh, pull it in as close as is comfortable. Should feel it in the glute of the one you have crossed over top. Breathe normally, let everything relax. Same thing on the other side. Cross it over. Remember, grab behind that thigh, not in front of that shin. Don't want to compress that knee as you pull back. Just pull in as close as is comfortable. Again, feeling it in that glute hip socket of the leg you have crossed over top. A real good stretch for anyone who suffers from sciatica. This usually does a good job of loosening up that piriformis muscle. And let it relax. All right, that is the end of this routine. I hope you guys really, really liked it. Let us know in the comment section below if you have any suggestions of new routines, or if you like this one, or if you want to change this one in any way. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. This workout is complete. Bye.